You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
It is time for Happy Hour. It is the Man Cave Happy Hour. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I am Matt Fox. How are you guys?
And it is the Man Cave Happy Hour. Thanks for being here at the Falling Down Brewery.
Falling down? Who's falling down right now? All right. Hey, hi. How you doing?
All right. Mic techniques here. That's what we're doing. So the Man Cave Happy Hour, we talk about craft cocktails, sometimes cigar, have some fun along the way.
We're talking about beer this evening.
Tonight, yes, it is all about the beers tonight, because we are at the Falling Down Brewery with Podcast Detroit.
Wonderful Warren, Michigan.
That is it. Kevin Wilson just wrapped up and entertaining us for the evening. Thanks for being here, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin's walking in with his big guitar case, and he's got this haircut, and it said Uncle Cracker along the side of it. So he's played with just like a crap ton of Detroit people.
Yeah.
And I said, somebody said, is that Uncle Cracker? And I'm like, no, I think it's Cousin Cracker. I think is what it is. That's
the cousin of, yes.
No, he's great. So Kevin was awesome. Kevin, thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, very good stuff.
It's a special night. It's a special cause.
Yes.
The folks from the IT and the D, Bob.
IT and the D, Bob and David. Where are you guys? Hi. How you doing?
Let's hear it for IT and the D.
Cheers.
Putting this together.
Cheers.
Cheers, you guys.
Lots of toys have been brought in this evening. This very special cause.
And yes, and the cause tonight, it's it's going to kids.
All kids.
Toys. I wanted to keep the toys, but it's Operation Kid Equip is the foundation that is getting all these toys tonight. And so IT and the D, Podcast Detroit, ganged up and brought in a ton of toys and some cash to get more toys for kids. And Michael is with us. Michael, come on over. Tell us a little bit more about Op Equip for kids.
Michael John. Round of applause. Michael John, ladies and gentlemen. I will not tell you his official title, but it's Michael John.
All right, so Michael, just jump right on that, and thanks for being with us. So, Michael, what Operation Kid Equip? Who's getting these toys? Where's it going?
We have a complete list of children in the community who are in desperate need, who probably won't be receiving anything for Christmas, and so we have about a list of 170 children who need toys, and if we don't provide them, they won't get them.
Of that covered here, right? We have
a very good number for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of toys.
All right, we're on our way, getting the stack of toys going. So how did you get how did this evolve, Operation Kid Equip?
Operation Kid Equip's been around for about 15 years.
Oh, okay.
And we've worked.
You said 15 years.
About 15 years.
Wonderful.
And we've worked with IT and the D for about the last 7. Doing these special kind of drives. We're more known for our backpack and school supply drives back and around back to school time.
Wonderful.
But now we're doing the holiday toys.
Yep.
And then we are also we provide warm meals for low-income kids and seniors in the community.
Oh.
In the month of December, we're going to provide about 1,000 warm meals. And it just keeps going from there.
Wow. And this is within the city of Warren is where this takes place?
This is mostly within Warren, yes.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
You actually played some cards earlier with your friends that are here?
Correct.
Yes, and I picked the highest paired cards, right? It cost $1 to play. I really wanted to give more, but you kept my dollar. It's okay. You kept my dollar. I got the highest pair. It was awesome. It looks like she's coming up. We're going to play some more cards, but...
Yeah, she's... I also work with the Stillwell Manor, which is low-income senior housing. So tonight I brought some of the seniors with me,
nice.
and I didn't realize that one of them is a card shark.
There's no illegal gambling going on here tonight.
That's right.
That's how it was sold to me. She's a card shark. You got to go try it out.
She's our new chief of fundraising. So.
Yeah, if you want to play some cards, come on over, fellas, and we got a card game for you.
It was great. And, Matt,
Kevin, take your turn on her.
And Matt beats her.
Yeah, I beat her. I didn't mean to. Really
That's
did.
our route.
Matt threw in for the charity anyway.
Yes, of course.
That was pretty awesome. So, Michael, what's the next event on tap for Operation Kid Equip?
What we are doing is on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we're actually delivering the toys as a surprise to the kids.
Nice.
So the kids have no idea it's coming.
So how are the kids going to get them? I mean, you just like ringing doorbells and running away? What are you doing? How are you getting them to the kids?
No, we're actually going to work with the Warren Police Department.
Oh, okay.
And so me and other officers will go out onto the road and visit the houses and basically act like the toy fell off the sleigh. And so they're getting a police escort to get the toy to them.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
wonderful. So are these guys off duty, on duty?
They're on duty and off duty.
Really? All right. So the city's hand in hand with this?
Oh yes, for sure.
That is awesome. So if people want to get involved, maybe they don't have, they weren't able to make it out to the IT and the D, the Podcast Detroit get together tonight here at the Falling Down Brewery. If they want to get involved and donate to the cause, how can they do that?
We have an online link.
Okay.
We do. Where?
So,
what is it?
Which is,
it's probably really convoluted, but if they go to, Man Cave Happy Hour on Facebook or Podcast Detroit on Facebook.
If they look at your Facebook, you'll see it there.
We'll have a link up there for
It's
them.
kind of easy. It's paypal.me/UBCO.
Okay. So we'll link that up.
UBCO.
Yes.
Okay.
MOUSC. So yeah.
Don't confuse them.
.com. .org.
.net.
So all right. So we'll have that linked in. We'll tweet that out as well, and it's up on the Podcast Detroit and the IT and the D site as well, and they get people out there. So, Michael, thank you so much for all the good work and the hard work.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael.
I hope these toys helped out.
These toys are awesome.
I got a fuzzy bear.
There's a
that
guitar
I brought
back there.
Somebody
your
brought a stack of comic books this evening.
Oh yeah.
Really?
You know you're at a Podcast Detroit event
When you get comic books. Yeah.
I wonder, are there people here from IT and the D?
Yeah. But your bear, I have a child that I just got today that's 3 months old. I'm wondering, what do we get this 3-month-old child?
Yeah.
And then you walk in with that beautiful little fuzzy bear.
Well, I'll give it up then.
There's two of them.
I still worry you're going to steal it at the end, but
But thank you so much for everything this evening.
Thank you.
Wonderful event. Appreciate you being a part of it.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
All right. So yes, again here at the Falling Down Brewery, the links for that, Matt, it makes me feel good.
It's what?
Makes me feel good.
This is an amazing event. I feel really good about being here, about able to give back as much as you can. Bring some toys for the kids.
It's sometimes it's hard to get in the holiday spirit, but stuff like this just kind of warms me up and gets me excited.
It does help you out. It does help that out. Yes, putting tree lights on your house is one thing, but when you actually are a part of it, and you become more and more ingrained into the holiday season as it starts to go along, it starts to happen.
It takes a little edge of that commercialness.
You got it. Absolutely.
But Podcast Detroit, we're here broadcasting live at the Falling Down Brewery, and there's a lot of podcasters in and out of the building tonight.
Yes.
And so just lots of people.
Yeah, hey guys, if you're a podcaster, raise your hand. Just a show of hands.
Podcasters
in the building. Thank you for being here. A lot of podcasters here.
Ian's here. Ian has a show on the network called the Retro Detroit Nerd Fighters. And Ian, come on up here. Tell us about your show a little bit. Grab a seat, slide on in. And Ian, good to meet you again.
Hey, you too.
Thanks for sliding on in. So Ian, what the heck is Retro Detroit Nerd Fighters?
Well, for starters, nerd fighters are people who want to make the world suck less and just generally be awesome.
Okay.
They do a lot of charity events online, basically on YouTube, and I kind of want to, with my podcast, do a little more of a support thing than anything else.
All right, right
Nice.
on. So you're a few episodes in, and just tell us a little about what have you done on the show so far?
So far, I've gotten topics like the YouTube politics, like the controversy with EA and how they want to put in microtransactions into their games, and how much of a backlash the community as a whole has.
So I would imagine the Star Wars thing that just happened with their new game that just came out and all the other things that they had to pay for to get certain. Is that part of something that you've been talking about or going to talk about here in future episodes?
Yeah, I've talked about it I've had 4 episodes and I've talked about it about 2. Okay.
Yes, it seems to be a topic of conversation, yes.
It's just a little bit important, yes.
Funny.
That is awesome.
I like it.
So what's up next? What's on tap for the? I scrolled away from it. Retro Detroit Nerdfighters.
I'm gonna bring in another guest that talks about video games and autism and how there are more games involved that just cater toward the disabled community. And
oh wow,
nice.
Yeah.
That sounds really interesting.
Excellent. Thank you.
Wow.
I'm going to listen, man, because I need to know. I need to be in the know.
That's the thing. There's so many. Just the pantheon of shows and the variety of shows is just amazing. The topics that are covered simply astounding. So on the Man Cave Happy Hour, we try to have a little fun along the way. So we play some games. So Ian, are you down to play a little game with us?
Yes and no.
Yes.
That's what it is.
It's
Don't be afraid, my friend. Don't be afraid.
It's a little game. Don't be afraid. It's called Any Fifth Grader Would Know.
Up in the morning and out to school. Here we go. The teacher is teaching the golden rule.
So any 5th grader would know.
American history and practical math.
It's time to play Any 5th Grader Would Know.
All right, Ian, so I'm going to ask you a question. Comes right out of a 5th grade textbook. Hopefully you can get this.
Oh
my. All right. So it's kind of easy. It's a 50-50 shot here, right? The Statue of Liberty holds her torch in her left hand. True or false? Statue of Liberty holds the torch in her left hand. True or false?
That's false.
That is false.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Look at that. He thinks he's got it.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
That is it. You are absolutely correct,
You
sir.
are right.
She holds the torch in her right hand.
Yeah.
Just like
Way to go.
just like I hold my
Right
beer.
place, right time.
That is it. So, what do you know? Is bonus round, right? What is the actual? What's the meaning of the Statue of Liberty? Why is she in the harbor? Because what do people associate her with normally, right?
She's holding up liberty.
Coming to America, right? People are like, oh, it's like, welcome to America.
Yeah, right.
It was a gift from France for the end of slavery. So like around her feet, they're like broken chains around her feet. Right. And it's a celebration of the end of slavery. It's not really welcome to America, but just people as they came in on the ships, it's morphed into this.
They knew that they were free. There wasn't going to be any issues when they came to America. Issues. Well, we call it what it is.
Tell that to the Asian folks coming in, the Irish folks coming in, the Italians. Yeah, there's no issues.
Wow, no issues.
Yes, they were making.
You know what?
Glimmer of hope up in her right hand.
Freedom. Yeah.
All right, so do you have a website or a Twitter or anything people can follow you about the Nerdcast there?
Yeah, I can be followed at Informed on Twitter.
All right.
Informed with an A.
Okay.
And also on SoundCloud at the Retro Detroit Nerdfighters.
The Retro Detroit Nerdfighters, and of course you can find them on the Podcast Detroit website and network as well. Awesome, Ian. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it,
man. Thanks for popping in.
Thank you.
All right. So we got an open mic time right now for any Podcast Detroiters want to plug their show. If anybody has a show, you want to tell us about your show? Because there's like so many. I see the titles and I got no idea what these people are doing. There's probably like 110 shows, and there's probably like 60 or 70 that are like active right now.
Sure.
And it's just always fascinating. So if anybody here from Podcast Detroit wants to plug their show, talk about it, tell us a little bit about it, we'd welcome you to come and sit down with us.
So I got a question for you, Jamie.
Yeah.
What are you drinking right now?
I am drinking a Falling Down Blonde.
A Falling Down Blonde? Is that what you're drinking?
I don't know what it's called. Yeah. We're having a blonde. We're having a blonde here from the Falling Down Brewery, though.
Yes, Falling Down Brewery. They've got a selection.
You're donating cash? Bring it up here. We'll make sure it gets to the right spot. For sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You know, people are just throwing money at us up here.
That's Podcast Detroit bracelet.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Oh my gosh! So we got people donating cash. We're gonna make sure that gets to Michael along with the toys. We're not gonna bet with our card shark on that.
Nope. Sorry, Ruth.
But yeah, so we're here at the Falling Down Brewery with Podcast Detroit and the Man Cave Happy Hour. We'd like to talk about what we're drinking.
Yes.
And find out about it because we're big drinkers. Sometimes smokers.
Some big drinkers? It's a school night. Are we a big drinker at a school night?
It is a school night. I got to teach high school in the morning. I had parents here making better choices than me, and they went home to their kids.
Yeah, every once in a while, we'll go out, we'll have a couple of cocktails, we'll talk about what we're having. And then every so often we'll be at a cigar bar and we'll actually go and sample and smoke a cigar and talk to a cigar aficionado or a distributor. And then also we'll talk about what we're drinking. So we might have someone that's a liquor distributor as well.
And tonight we're drinking the brews from Falling Down Brewery. And we wanted to talk to the beer master, Mark Larson. So
yes.
I'm not being rude and being on my phone while you're talking to me. I'm looking at notes.
Not at all.
But we need to get Mark over here.
Yeah, where's Mark Larson? Mark, Mark, where are you?
He's got the snazzy Falling Down Detroit shirt on. He was at the end of the bar there. Is Mark with us? Hey, Mark, we're going to get you over here and chit-chat.
Yep.
And he's making his way over now.
Ah, there he is. Mark Larson, where are you from?
There he comes.
There he is. Let's talk to Mark. Hi, Ruth.
Mark's heading over.
There he is. Come on over, Mark. We're very excited to talk to you, sir.
Pardon? Yeah.
We need to learn something this evening.
Tonight? Get out.
Whose birthday is it?
That is amazing.
Have a seat, Mark.
All right.
So, Mark, your glass that you're sitting down here with, it looks very familiar to what I'm drinking as well. Can you tell us, what are you drinking right now?
I'm drinking Ninja Chicken.
A what?
Ninja Chicken.
I love the chicken.
Ninja Chicken.
Is this on?
It is on.
Yes, it is on.
Get kind of close to it.
Okay.
It'll be good. It's picking up better on the computer than it is through the speakers. But so, Mark, you are what is your official title here at the Falling Down Brewing Company?
I am a head brewer and co-founder.
All right, head of brewer and co-founder. Would that be brewmaster? Is that a title? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I just call myself head brewer because I don't have any formal training. I'm self-taught.
Really? Okay.
Brewmasters tend to go through decades of training.
All right. And so, all right. That's fascinating. So, where was the start of your interest in brewing beers? Where did you start? When was a little bathtub gin? What were you doing?
Yeah, basically, me and my co-founder were home brewers.
Okay.
And actually, Ninja Chicken, we say, is the beer that launched the brewery.
Ninja Chicken launched the brewery? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
okay.
This is my original homebrew recipe.
Okay.
And what happened was eventually we were homebrewing so much for other people.
Okay.
And for weddings or whatever, right? We're brewing too much, and it was like, okay, we should probably sell this stuff now,
and not get hauled in for a felony.
Right.
All right. So where did the name Ninja Chicken come from?
Yeah.
So my wife came up with that one, and as the story goes, we were at Buffalo Wild Wings, trying to think up names. Getting pretty drunk, and there were Bruce Lee movies on the TVs.
Okay.
So it became Ninja Chicken because of the Bruce Lee movies.
So being a brewmaster as you are, do you pay attention to the history of the IPA and how it all originated and what have you? I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you know who the first person to brew an IPA beer is? No.
Repeat it.
Who was the first person to brew an IPA?
Do you know that person's name?
I do not know the person's name.
Then that's okay. That's what we're all here to do. We're all here to learn.
Right. We don't know.
So we are novices. I just drink beer.
On the web, he would be an idiot. So.
Yeah, I am a total novice. So I was actually looking up. It's George Hodgson from London who actually created the first IPA beer.
When was that?
That was, there is no date. It was created whenever.
It would have to be the 1600s or something like that.
Made a good.
It was published in August of 2011. If that has anything to do with it.
So, do you know why it's called an IPA? Why it's an India Pale Ale?
Why it's an India Pale Ale? No, please educate me, please.
So, it's brewed with higher alcohol and more hops to preserve it for the boat trip from England to India.
Really?
Yeah, it was brewed specifically for the British colonies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. So what is the, for lack of better, what is the fermentation process, from your regular beers that are out there to an IPA? Is there a difference in how it's produced and how long it takes? And
not as far as like fermentation. It's all about when the hops go in and how many hops go in.
How many? Okay.
Yeah.
So I've had hoppy beer. I've had hoppy beer in the past, but I've had regular beer as well. Yeah. So if I'm having a hoppy beer, what is too much hops? What would you consider to be too much hops in a beer?
Well, some people would argue there's never too much hops.
I would argue with the other one.
Yeah. It's all about the effect you want, how much bitterness you want versus how much like citrus you want.
Right.
So like Ninja Chicken, we do a very low hop addition to it, so you get just a touch of the bitterness.
Yes.
Where an IPA would probably be, 3-4 times as bitter as this beer.
Gotcha. So earlier when I first got here, I actually had the cranberry IPA.
Yeah.
All right. And as the night has gone on, I have now gone to a Ninja Chicken. Is there a way to kind of space out the IPA so you get a different flavor, so your palate really doesn't get too much affected, so you can get a better taste of each IPA that you taste?
Yeah, so I always recommend start dark and go light.
Okay.
and that's because dark beers tend to be less bitter. So bitterness will destroy your taste buds.
All right.
So if you go with an IPA right away, that's pretty much all you're going to taste all night.
So I did it wrong is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll go from
Fair enough.
an IPA to a stout, and that stout will taste funny because you've been drinking the IPA all night.
That makes sense. That does make sense. All right. Fair enough.
So you're brewing at home, and you're like, okay, we're making beer for other people.
Hey guys, say hi.
Let's turn this into a business. Is this your full-time job right now?
No.
Okay.
I work in IT.
Oh,
you work at IT.
All right. So, but how did you go from ramping it up from, okay, we're doing this in the house? You have a really nice facility here. We're the Falling Down Brewery on 10 Mile. And is this Warren?
It's Warren.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're in Warren.
Yeah, we're in Warren.
Just off of DeQuinder. And if people are in the Michigan area, it's a great place to stop in. Where did you move, like, from your basement to here, or was there a step in between?
No, directly here.
Directly here.
Yep.
So, what did it take to convert this space, get those massive kettles back there? How long did it take to get your first brews on the market?
It took us almost 2 years to open up.
Okay.
From start to finish. Everything that we did in here, this used to be a 24-hour diner.
Okay.
So there actually used to be like booths in here and everything.
Wow. All right.
Which we actually opened up with the booths. It was kind of funny.
Right on.
My co-founder's parents loaned us a few bucks to get the brewing system back there, and the rest of it was friend equity, is how I call it. So I just got all my friends out here, did the demolition, and poured sidewalks in, and helped us remodel everything. And
nice.
So you're here, you're up and running. How many brews did you start with? Did you had the Ninja Chicken, so that was one of the first off the line, right?
Right.
And then what else did you have? What else did you start with?
Oh, well, I'll tell you one thing we did not have is an IPA.
Okay, all right.
So at the time, I despised IPAs.
Fair play.
At the time, right.
And I still do.
Yeah.
So.
I had a couple of browns, a couple of stouts, an amber, a red, Ninja Chicken. Yeah, I always liked Bass and Guinness, so I made Bass and Guinness clones.
You're talking to a Guinness aficionado right here.
That's the thing. I'm a snob, and I love microbrew restaurants and breweries and brew pubs. You know, the Ale Marys, the Kilkennans, and the Rourke, and just all that. I love all these places. You know, Dragon's Mead and Griffin Claw. I love the place. I hate the beers. I love the places, the vibe, the atmosphere. I just love the places. Can't stand the beers. Well, this one's not as hoppy. You'll like it, and I get it. I'm like, no, I know. Do you have PBR? But that's just my taste, right? But I do it, and I'll drink them, and I try to find one that I like. You had a cider, which you ran out of tonight. I guess Matt and I were pounding them down too hard earlier.
Yeah, there's that.
The cider was really cider. Good.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying the hell out of that, and I'm like, all right, I'll be on cider tonight.
Yeah, it was the semi-sweet apple cider that we were doing.
Now, I had it, because I've had ciders at like small places like this, and they try to get all fancy pants with them, and it was like, it's like, why did you just jack up this perfectly good cider? It's like there's one I had, I won't say that, hell, it was Griffin Claw, and it was just cloves. It was like sucking on a raw clove. It was like, I couldn't finish it. And I love ciders, and it really ticked me off that they did that to a cider. Actually, your cider was great. The apple one was great. I guess you have a pear one, but you were out of that tonight as well.
Yeah.
But
because we drank it all.
Flavor one. I just straight up the apple, but it was so good.
Oh, thank you.
It was really, really good.
It's very good.
Cider is one of my favorite things, so that's why I make it here too.
So, but I mean, I love that you had that you could find something. I could find something that I enjoyed, even though I'm not an IPA or hoppy kind of guy. What kind of things do you have for people? Hot mic. What kind of things do you have for people that might not like the hops as much?
Normally, we always keep a cream ale on tap, which is basically the ale version of a Budweiser.
Really?
All right. And so, alcohol content, right? And when you're brewing these, you control the alcohol content?
Yep.
What kind of range do you have in the beers that you create or the drinks that you create?
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
The lowest that we generally make is about 3.5%.
Okay.
And we've gone all the way up. Our anniversary ale last year was 22%.
Keep away from open flames?
Yeah.
Was that now? How would you describe the taste of that? Would you have any of that still, or no?
No. It goes.
It goes.
We for our anniversary. We make one little 30-gallon batch.
Right.
And 22% beer, and it's usually gone by the end of the day. So.
My goodness.
So what kind of flavor would be in that? Is it really hoppy? What is it? What is the flavor?
So we change it every year.
Okay.
The last 2 years we did do IPAs. So 2 years ago we called it Fire and Blood Orange, like Game of Thrones.
I like that.
It was a 22% Blood Orange IPA.
All right.
So you drink and you know things. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that what it comes down to?
And I know things.
Yep. And then last year was a mango pineapple IPA.
Ooh,
nice.
All right.
That sounds yummy.
And at that high of alcohol, you have to get so much sugar into it.
Yeah.
They tend to come out super sweet.
Okay.
Right.
So it's almost like drinking a port.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But at 20%, you don't have to drink a lot.
Exactly. We actually only sell. You're only allowed 2 5-ounce pours for the entire night.
Okay.
On purpose.
On purpose. Because it's basically
There's some liability
it's
on
a
that.
shot. It's a shot.
Really? Yeah. Wow.
That is great. So what's on tap right now at Falling Down Brewery?
Well, we have Ninja Chicken.
All right. Is Ninja Chicken like always on tap?
Ninja Chicken.
Is there anything that's like always here?
Ninja Chicken is always on tap. It's our flagship beer.
All right.
And then right now we have Falling Cow, which is our milk stout.
Milk stout, right?
So that's one of our winter beers that we always
see. And so you said you did a Guinness clone. What was your Guinness clone? What was that?
It was a dry stout.
A dry. See, but was there a hoppiness to it? Because people go, "Oh, you should try this."
Very little.
And then I'm like, no, No, you just made me mad. See,
No, stouts should not have hoppiness.
Yeah,
No, they should not.
Go to these places and they make me mad. All right, so but you don't have that going right now. Is that? Will that?
You should try the milk stout though.
Really?
Milk stout's good.
Yeah.
It's nice and roasty. It's a little sweet. And there's no hops to it.
Maybe if your waiter swings by, we'll flag him down to get a taste. All right, but what else is on tap right now?
Here, Mother Cluster. That's our cream ale.
Mother Cluster.
Mother Cluster.
That's named after the cluster hop that's used in it.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
And then we have a whole bunch of experimental beers, actually. So like a cranberry IPA.
You have a cider. You have a cider experimental right now, do you not? I was looking at the menu earlier. I thought I saw an experimental on there.
Yeah,
it's down there somewhere. I gotta read it. The American Brown Ale. That was an experimental series that you have going on right now.
Yeah, so we brew little small batches of experimental beers, and that's one of them.
Okay.
So it's actually a brown ale that we soured. So it's got a little sour twinge to the back end of it.
All right. Yeah, you got to really out there in podcast world.
Yeah.
Come to Falling Down Brewery because they got a lot of different mixes, different types of beer. Different tastes. You want to kind of find your palate because everyone's got a different taste for a beer, right? Everyone's got either a Bud or a Bud Light or a Guinness or a Heineken or a Coors.
You said Bud Light.
Yes, I did. I said that word. Sorry. But the fact is, you got to test out your palate. You really got to test your palate, and figure out what you actually like. And that's what it comes down to when it comes to a brewmaster. You have your certain like. What is one of your favorites that you would drink on a normal basis? If you sit down, you're watching a movie or hanging out with family and friends, what's your go-to?
What's in the growler when you're heading out here?
Loaded question.
The funny thing is I don't drink a lot at home.
Okay.
If I do, it's usually something super special like a brewery from out of state that you can't get in Michigan. I'll keep some of those beers around. Stuff like that. New Glarus, Wisconsin is one of my all-time favorites.
Fair enough.
As far as like breweries in Michigan right now, I'm a huge Bell's and Founders fan.
Okay.
So I drink a ton of their stuff. But then M43, Old Nation.
Yeah, one of my favorites is M43. Yeah, I am an M43. M43 and we go way back. When it first came out, a year and a half ago. Yeah, it's one of my favorites right now. But I'm always looking to test something different because I'm looking for a new favorite. What it comes down to. Ninja Chicken's
try
getting
to make a blood orange version of it. So.
All right, nice. Yeah, you're gonna see. Yeah, it's getting close to that Ninja Chicken's becoming that new favorite right now. So
I love the name. So
if I'm drinking here, I'm drinking Ninja Chicken.
All right.
When I go to bars, I usually go to bars that carry my beer, and it's almost always Ninja Chicken.
Nice.
Excellent. So now the names are interesting.
Yeah.
And you said your wife helped you come up with the Ninja Chicken way back in the day. How do you guys come up with the different interesting names for the brews?
It's kind of a drunken process, is how I should say it.
Definitely beer involved.
Yeah, there's always beer involved usually. Yeah,
it's a drunken process.
I don't know. I tried to come up with goofy names, and we own a farm. Me and my wife have a farm, so we do a lot of animal names.
Yes.
So like our standard IPAs are 5 Goat Army and 7 Goat Army. A single IPA, double IPA, and it's the number of goats that we owned at the time.
Oh, okay.
So when we created the first IPA, we owned 5 goats.
There you go. 5 goats beer. There you go.
And we've done contests. We have a summer IPA, our blood orange IPA is Scurvy Dan. Mm-hmm. And it's actually named after Dan, who was a Mug Club member who asked us to make it for him for his nursing school graduation.
Oh.
So then I let him name it. So he called it Scurvy Dan because he was a nurse.
All right. Well, Scurvy. Okay. Yeah, so do I. I like that a lot.
So you said if you're out at another place that carries your beers, you'll have the Ninja Chicken. So where can people, besides here at the Falling Down Brewery in Warren on 10 Mile, just off the Quinder, where else can people find the Falling Down brews?
Currently, locally, we're not in any place right now because we're switching distributors.
Okay.
So that's on the down low right now. So no one knows that until just now, right?
Right.
Just kidding.
No. We're really big up north in Lapeer, Flint, Bay City, Saginaw. We're in about 15 different places.
All right, are these? Is it strictly kegs and taps?
Yeah, strictly taps right now. We haven't started bottling or canning.
Right.
We're hoping to do that early next year.
Okay,
wonderful.
Our biggest account right now is Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh,
so
where at?
All of them?
Lapeer, Fenton, Birch Run.
Fenton.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, there's we frequent the B-dubs every once in a while.
Yeah,
so
they love pairing Ninja Chicken with the chicken wings.
Okay.
Of course they
love
do.
The whole
idea. Yep.
Yep. And our tap handles are yellow, just like their stuff, so it all fits in with their whole theme. So we do a lot of business with them.
Very nice. That's excellent. Yeah. When if you're at a Buffalo Wild Wings, look for the Ninja Chicken.
Right.
Pair it with a mango habanero, medium wing or whatever we want to do.
The logo's fun. It's a falling down. It's almost like a street sign. The guy with
a caution sign. Yeah.
So it's So look for that. And what about spirits? Are you guys getting involved with spirits and libations?
So funny you should ask. We're opening up a second location in Oxford.
Oh. Wonderful.
Okay.
Should be open any week now.
Right downtown Oxford area.
Right downtown Oxford.
Very nice.
And there we have
country,
what
are you doing?
Yeah.
Are they welcoming you with open?
Oh yeah. That's where I live up there. So we have a brewery, winery, and distillery license there.
All right.
So we've already produced over 16 wines, and we have vodka ready to go. So our goal is as soon as we open, we're going to be doing Bloody Marys and mixed vodka drinks.
Hey Jamie, road trip.
Road trip.
All
right, we're going to have to come do this at the new location.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are up and running.
Yeah, we'd love to come and see you out there once you guys open. We'd love to come out and sit down with you, talk about where we're at right now and how everything is coming along and all the different concoctions that you've come out with.
Yeah, we may come
out there. We love that. Truly will.
It'll be fun too. I have 48 taps running up there.
Only 48?
Yeah, just 48.
So, will you have you don't have 48 product right now. Will you have taps from other places that you pour?
We will not, but what we're going to do is we're hoping to keep...
How you filling 48 taps?
Yeah, we're hoping to keep like 24 to 30 of our beers on.
Okay.
And then some of the taps will be our wines will be on tap.
Okay.
Really?
And then we're going to do our own sodas too.
Nice.
So those will go on tap.
Very well.
So now the wines that you do, how did you switch from beer to wine? Right? Have you always done wines? Or is wine a new venture?
No, I personally can't stand wine.
Fair play.
But I had to get a wine license in order to make ciders. Cider is considered wine in the eyes of the law.
Sure.
Again, I love that cider I had earlier.
And so I hired a winemaker.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't like wine, so I had to hire somebody that knew wine.
So maybe when we get there, we'll sit down with your wine guy, and I'd love to do that. Because are you bringing in grapes, or are you getting the juices? Because my brother-in-law Frankie does wines, and he gets the juices, right? And they bring in the juices, and then they work from that. And sometimes they do blends, and sometimes they do the straight up juices, and there's a whole artistry to that as well. It's
right now we're not pressing our own right now, but we just bring in the juices.
Yeah, I mean there's so many people that do that, and that's the way to go. And you get the blends going.
Yeah,
you need a guy. It's a whole nother.
No, it is. It's a whole nother aspect of
art. Yeah,
because that's what I want to eventually spin off a cidery winery type of thing. Have that be a whole different thing because I love the ciders.
Yeah,
I want to eventually have like 20 ciders.
Okay, I'm in, man. I enjoy the.
We're gonna have more.
The one I had here, and ciders, Michigan ciders. We're good apple country. We're fair wine country, but we're good, really good apple country. And so you're gonna. What about where do you get your product from? Right? Are these going to be Michigan apples? And what can you harvest from Michigan to have in your product?
So I get a custom blend made by Porter's Orchard in Goodrich, Michigan.
And these are for the ciders.
For the ciders.
Okay.
And
Portage Orchard.
Porter's
Orchard. Where are they?
Goodrich.
Okay. All right.
Which is where I've been living for the last 5 years.
Right.
And they do a custom blend of different, sweetnesses of apples for me. And I know like Shorts gets their star cut stuff from them. And,
Do they are they harvesting and growing specifically knowing that they're going to be ciders, or are these mixed use apples? What I don't know.
So they're kind of mixed use apples, but what they do is in the fall when there's the harvest, you can have them make custom blends for you.
Okay.
So we order a custom blend just for our ciders. They'll press it, freeze it as long as we want it, and then we can make it all year round that way.
So for a batch of cider, how many apples do you think it would take to create a batch of? No, I'm just curious because I don't know. I'm curious to know how many apples does it actually take to build a batch?
I want to say a gallon is somewhere around 200 apples.
That's a lot of apples.
Yeah.
That really is a lot of apples.
It is.
Yeah. So when you're working with porters out of Goodrich, how big is their farm? How big?
As far as my eye can see, it's gigantic.
It's gigantic. So 200 apples is a drop in the bucket. I'm just kidding. So all right.
Yeah, and I usually I'm ordering 300 gallons at a time.
Wow.
Of cider.
That's a swimming pool full of apples there, man. That's wild.
Bring your swimming suit for that, man.
So the semi-dry pear cider, is that apples but flavored with pear, or are those pears?
Yeah. So it's mostly an apple cider.
Okay.
It's basically the semi-sweet apple cider. Then
she's off the hook. Come here and get one.
We add a pear concentrate to it.
Okay.
And that kind of sweetens it up even more, and then gives that little pear twinge to it.
So I'm crazy about the cider. So what's the next on tap for the cider for you? Because you said you're digging the cider. What's your master plan for ciders?
Yeah. Well, right now, so we're going to have 3 ciders at all times, which is going to be an apple cider, a pear cider, and a cherry cider.
Okay.
And then once we get those established and we get a routine going, then I'll start getting into other flavors and actually different blends. So it'll all be a standard blend to start with, but then I want to get into, let's just do grainy apples and see how it comes out. You know what I mean?
I'm curious what a Honeycrisp apple would make as far as a cider goes. That's one of my favorite apples.
Right.
One of my family's favorite apples, but Honeycrisp, I would be curious to know what a Honeycrisp cider would actually taste like. Is that something you could work on for us?
I've never tried it. I think it'd be interesting.
Am I creating some ideas for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We skimmed past.
We single variety apples.
You said you were going to ask about it, and he opened the door and you missed it. The cherry apple cider.
Cherry apple cider?
What was it? The cherry
apple cider.
Cherry apple cider. No?
No. Yes.
Beer mosa.
Beer. Oh, it's right. David was talking about the beer mosa earlier.
I'm going to talk
about that. Yeah, he had a
3 beers later.
It's been a long night.
Yes.
So yeah, he was drinking a beer. He was talking about beer mosa.
Beer mosa.
Yeah. What is
that a thing? What is that?
That's a Dave creation.
Of course it would be, right?
Yeah.
David created a beer mosa.
He likes mixing our apple cider with our Belgian wheat.
It was actually very good. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very good. It's been a few hours, Jamie. Bear with me, man.
I love that he made that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Dave.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know. I thought that might have been something you guys do behind the bar here.
You know what? We're in the business to sell beer, so if someone goes, mix these 2 beers, we mix those 2 beers, right?
Yeah. So when you start doing the spirits, we have spirits here at the Falling Down Brewery on 10 Mile. Are you licensed to sell?
We're not licensed here for liquor. We're licensed here for wine, though.
So the beer and the wine you can do. So if you start brewing the spirits up there, then people will only be able to get in Oxford because that's the only place you're licensed for it?
Right, correct.
Okay, interesting. That's fascinating, that whole legal aspect of it, too.
Yeah, it really is. It's awesome. Yeah.
The nice thing is with the beer and wine, at least, we can transport beer back and forth between the 2 locations.
Right.
So there will always be exclusives. So we'll always have beer that we make here and only sell here and vice versa. But the majority of the stuff will be the same at both locations.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to Ninja Chicken, you're going to get it at both locations.
So you're going to be opening any day now in Oxford?
Yeah, just waiting for the state to stamp the license.
We're ready to go.
all the tanks are filled, all the coolers are filled.
Yep.
I got 14 taps up and running.
Yeah, well, so pay attention to our Facebook page. Let us know when that does happen, because we would love to come out, like I said, and
open arms and
we're all about that. So check our Facebook page for everybody in podcast world, and see when Falling Down Brewery opens up in Oxford. Is it going to be Falling Down Brewery? Is that going to be the name in Oxford as well? Okay. Yeah. Looking forward to coming out there.
There's a Facebook page for it too, so you can go on there and like it. Falling Down Beer Oxford.
You got it, man. That's great. Yeah, got it.
Is there anything we didn't ask you about that we should have asked you about?
What did we cover?
Did we miss it? Because we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. We know we like. We like a good cider, we like a good beer, and we like a good cigar, and the Man Cave Happy Hour. We try to investigate these things, but we turn it to you to inform us and help us out. How long does it take for you to brew a batch? From like, hey, I got this idea for a flavor. Let's try this. Let's do this. And how long does it take to go from idea to tap?
Ideas are fleeting, so they pop in and out of my head all the time.
We should do a pepper beer. How do you? You're not going to brew one of those big containers back there, one of those big vats, right? Those big vats in the back. How many? What's in there? How big are those?
Those are 310 gallons.
310 gallons. Those big vats. So that's like my hot tub.
That's a lot.
It's James Brown's celebrity hot tub. Jump back. Touch yourself. All right, sorry. I'm channeling Eddie Murphy for a second. But
I feel good.
So you're not going to be like, I think I might try this pepper beer. You're not going to brew 300 gallons of it. Do you do tests, and how do you do test runs?
Yeah, so that's these experimental series.
Right.
We have a 31 gallon system, and so when we come up with a new recipe, we'll brew 31 gallons of it.
30, all right.
Wow.
And see how it turns out, put it on tap, see what people think about it, and then we'll modify it. And then once we like it, it'll go to the big system.
All right.
What was the? Have you done anything that you're like, wow, that was great, but it's just so cost prohibitive, we're not going to make it? Have you done anything like that yet?
Yeah, our anniversary beers, those 22% ones.
Yeah. So that's why those are only
the sugar expense alone would.
No, there's been a few. But we're just looking for the opportunity to do them again because, you can get around the cost prohibitiveness of anything by doing it right.
If it's good, people want to pay a bigger price for a glass than if it's done well.
Exactly.
I'm not afraid to pay for a fine glass of wine or beer.
I wouldn't mind, yeah.
What have you tried that was like, holy crap, that was a train wreck? Was there anything that was like, that was a bad idea?
There's been many.
Eddie, what was the biggest failure? What was the most? It was like it sounded really, really good yesterday, and when it came out of the thing the next week, you're like, oh my god, what were we thinking?
That's called a beer mosa. That's what it's called. It's called a beer mosa. That's what.
We've had a couple. One of the funnier stories is I love browns, so I brew browns all the time. And we had, early on, this is the first year we were open, we had a batch of brown where the grain got into the boil kettle. And it actually sat in the bottom and scorched. And
that's a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it made the beer taste like cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Not good.
So it was our first year, our first couple of months. We were like, we got to sell it for something, right?
Uh-huh.
So we literally put it on the menu and called it Shitty Brown. And we put on there, this is the worst brown beer you will ever taste. We dare you for $1.
Wow. And did it work?
It did, but surprisingly, everybody went online and told us how bad it was.
Yeah.
Even though we told them it was the worst. It was horrible.
They yelped you.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible beer.
And then you get the worst meatball sandwich here to back you up.
Right. So we sold maybe 200 of them, got our money back, and then threw the rest out.
Wow. At least you were honest about the product itself.
Right.
This is
I
the
didn't
worst.
try to
This
pass
is the worst
it
thing
off.
you're going to try ever. And we dare you.
That's great.
Wow. But you know what? Thank you. Thank you for helping us to understand what goes into the process.
Thanks for having us out here.
Yeah, thanks for having us here. Falling Down Brewery here in Warren, new establishment opening up in Oxford here in any second now. In all honesty, but come and visit them out in Oxford. Come and see them here in Warren. It's a great place, great beer. Do you have food trucks here every once in a while as well? Or?
Yeah, we're going to do it more regular now.
All right, wonderful.
So hopefully every Thursday, Friday, Saturday we'll have food trucks starting in the new year.
Excellent.
Great.
So,
what was it, Detroit Barbecue out there?
Detroit Barbecue.
Yeah, oh my God.
They're excellent.
That mac and cheese this evening, I'm done for like the next 2 days. I will not eat for the next 2 days because of that. But thank you for having us here, truly.
Oh, thank you.
No, pleasure.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Make sure you have a milk stout.
I think I might tip my night off with that.
That's a nice breakfast or a nice dessert beer for you, right?
I think I might be out around things out.
But hey, you know what? We're here at Falling Down Brewery here in Warren. You know what? Thank you for being here. We still have some podcasters hanging out. There are still drinking podcasters that drink. Really?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's kind of what they do.
But we're here. We're hanging out. Check Falling Down Brewery out. It's a wonderful place. But that does it for tonight's episode, Man Cave Happy Hour. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. We got Ruth. Ruth, the card shark, is still hanging out. So test your knowledge there. Try to win at cards.
Give it a shot.
Yep. We still have Michael is still hanging around. So thank you, Michael John, for everything with Kid Equip.
Yep. Operation Kid Equip.
Operation Kid Equip. Donating toys.
Kids in Warren.
But have a great night, everybody. And we'll see you next time.